I'm pretty sure I've found something that is going to massively benefit not just my business, but my whole life. Yay! Welcome back, my friend. My name is Megan Grant, and I'm here to help you find freedom through freelancing. I am constantly looking for ways to improve my physical and mental health, especially because I do deal with both depression and anxiety, which I talk about in this video. Taking a holistic approach and caring for yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, those things are just as important as all of the other stuff that we talk about on this channel. That's why I hope you'll stick around even though this video is a little bit different from what I normally talk about. So months ago, one of you mentioned Wim Hof, and at the time I was like, well, that's a funny word. What's a Wim Hof? Well, it's not a what, it's a who. Wim Hof is a man. So anyway, at the time, it didn't really mean anything to me, and admittedly, I kind of forgot about it. Fast forward to maybe a month or 2 months ago, and I somehow stumbled upon a video about Wim Hof breathing, and I was like, oh, that's what a Wim Hof is. And then I got sucked in. I'm not going to give you Wim Hof's life story. There are tons of videos about him, so when you're done here, I encourage you to go watch some of those. But essentially, his method entails 3 pillars: cold therapy, breathing, breathwork, and mindset. I've been taking ice baths lately, and I'm going to have another video on that coming up, but in this video I want to focus on the breathing. For his breathing technique, you take 30 to 40 breaths. You inhale sharply into your belly, into your chest, into your head, and then you exhale gently. You do that 30 to 40 times. At the end, you exhale and hold your breath as long as you can without passing out, and then you inhale and hold for 15 seconds, and that completes 1 round, and he recommends doing 3 rounds. It is hard, you guys. I can barely get through 1 round, and my chest is on fire, but in a good way. It feels good. And keep in mind that I've been doing breath work for months. I use this app called Breathwork. This is not sponsored, I just like the app. But Wim Hof's breathing is definitely a lot more intense and rigorous than what I've been doing, in a good way. I really love it. There are all sorts of proven benefits, which we'll come back to in a minute, that go along with doing his breathing techniques, including reduced stress levels and more energy. And that is just scratching the surface. I've mentioned before on this channel that I'm tired pretty much all the time. And, like a lot of people, sometimes my anxiety really gets to me. So I wanted to see if his breathing technique would make a difference. Spoiler alert, it does! The most immediate reaction that I've noticed is that during this breathing, my body gets very cold and very tingly, which Wim Hof says is completely normal. So right off the bat, you know that something, some sort of change or reaction is happening in your body, but it goes so much deeper than that. On days when I do my Wim Hof breathing in the morning, I notice that I am significantly less anxious and I have more energy. But it's not just having more energy, it's more sustained energy throughout the day. Typically, I feel fresh for the first few hours of the morning, but then before I even have lunch, I'm already starting to crash, and it's just downhill from there. I just get even more tired. And then the brain fog kicks in, I can't concentrate, my productivity goes down. But now I can get through almost the entire workday feeling okay. Not perfect, but better. I don't want to say that this has been a miracle cure because I don't think that exists in the first place. I just need to sleep more and sleep better in general, but I've absolutely noticed an improvement. I've also noticed that I have a lot more mental clarity. My mind is calmer and less scattered, less frantic. I feel more peaceful, I can concentrate better. So I'm noticing a reduction in both the physical and mental manifestations of anxiety, which is really nice. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I'm a very spiritual person, but I also need the logical, scientific side of things. I'm very middle of the road. I'm not completely woo-woo out there, although if you are, that's great. But I'm not totally, have to see it to believe it either. I'm in the middle. I'm a little bit of both. What I love about Wim Hof's techniques is that he's been involved in numerous studies, and I think some are still ongoing, and the results of these studies have been published in some of the most well-known and reputable scientific journals in the world. And they've hooked him up to monitors and machines, and they measured the changes in his body as he kind of went through and applied his own techniques and methodologies. There was a measured improvement in his body, and he was able to mimic those results in other study participants who he trained on his techniques. So this is right up my alley. We're talking about a completely natural way to heal yourself and feel better, and it's backed by science. Sign me up. You can read about those studies on his website as well. My husband, who is incredibly supportive and even does the ice baths with me, then went and bought me his book, and oh my God, it's so good. The ripple effect in my business has been really interesting as well. Now, compartmentalizing my emotions and learning not to flip out over every tiny nuisance and inconvenience, this is something I've been working on for years, and I've gotten a lot better at it. I used to get bent out of shape over everything, and then one day I realized, I was like, well, this is kind of stupid. So I've just learned to kind of go with the flow a little bit more and not let every single thing bother me. But I still almost always have this latent anxiety that is just always there. I've learned how to control how I respond to it, but I haven't been able to control the anxiety itself at its very core to the same degree. That's where I feel the difference now. I have this very persistent tightness and heaviness in my chest, and I'm kind of used to it at this point, but that tightness, for instance, is what triggers me to constantly rush through everything I'm doing. From the moment I wake up in the morning and my feet hit the floor, I'm like, go, go, go. I have a very hard time slowing down mentally, physically, emotionally. I feel like I always have to hurry, because if I don't, I won't get as much done. And then what's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen. Everything will be fine. That anxiety for me also manifests as something called body-focused repetitive behaviors. There are different manifestations of this, but for me, and I know this is gross, for years since I was a kid, I'm constantly chewing along the insides of my cheeks and my lips to the point that they bleed. And eating hurts, drinking water hurts, it burns, my teeth hurt, my jaw hurts. You can probably find videos on this channel where my face looks swollen and puffy. That's why. I do it and I don't even realize that I'm doing it until I'm in pain. This isn't just a bad habit. It's not like, well, just stop doing it. That's the whole point. I can't stop doing it. I'm finally doing that a little bit less. And like I said, I've been doing this for years, for as long as I can remember. It's not gone, but it's better. That's a big deal for me, especially because I've been on antidepressants for years. And when I first started those, I got really excited because I noticed that I was chewing less. And I was like, thank God, it was just like this hormonal imbalance the whole time, and these pills are gonna help me. Well, they helped for a little while, and then it came right back. So we'll see if these results stick, but it is promising and reassuring, for someone who's dealt with these very persistent issues since I was a kid, to see that there's any sort of positive impact is really cool. I've tried all sorts of, self-help and self-care things, meditation and visualization, journaling, essential oils, and on and on and on. And while I've enjoyed many of these things and they're great, they didn't necessarily have a long-lasting impact on my day. They were just nice in the moment. Like essential oils, again, not knocking them, but my experience with them has been, they smell nice, but they didn't do anything else beyond that. But like I said, it's good. Even if you only enjoy them in the moment, that's okay. I would say the one exception to this was meditating, which I will not give up on. I've told you before, I suck at it. It's so hard. I'm sorry, but tell someone with severe anxiety to empty their brain and I'm sorry, what? That's not happening. But I do believe in the benefits of meditation. It's not even a matter of believing. It's like science has proven that meditation is good for you. So I'll keep trying. But that's the one thing I've tried where it's it's almost torture for me, because trying to still my mind, The cool thing with breath work is that you don't have to empty your mind. You just focus on your breathing. And by focusing on your breathing, you kind of empty your mind as a byproduct. So it's been a nice little workaround for me. And if you have a hard time meditating, you might like it as well. Anyway, I want to be very clear. This hasn't been like an overnight fix where all of a sudden all of my problems are gone. It's not meant to be. I don't believe that exists. Like most things in life, I think you need to do this kind of stuff consistently to really reap the rewards. And I can vouch for that now. I am doing it consistently and I feel better. And things, both personally and professionally have improved. And that's been really nice for me. All because of breathing and ice baths. I just think that is so cool. The benefits that I'm experiencing certainly aren't the only ones that are available to us through Wim Hof's breathing technique. It can help with all sorts of things like inflammation. That was something that the studies found, and inflammation is the root cause of so many diseases and illnesses that are very common, at least in the US. So imagine being able to get inflammation under control just by changing the way you breathe. And not even the way you breathe all day, just like 20 minutes or less of focused breath work can significantly benefit your health in very big ways. So maybe I'll give it a shot, see how it feels, and let me know what you think. You might be wondering, why the heck is Megan even talking about this? Well, it's because I've come to the conclusion that I can no longer only talk about the nuts and bolts of freelancing on this channel. I can no longer only talk about LinkedIn and freelancing rates and proposals and contracts and the logistics. Those things are very important and I enjoy talking about them and I will continue talking about them, but they are not the only things that play a role in building a sustainable freelancing business. If I don't talk about the other stuff, as flowery and out there as it might sound, I feel like I'm doing you a disservice. You're gonna miss a huge piece of the puzzle. So we're gonna start talking about more stuff. Like I said, the old stuff isn't going away. I'm just gonna have more variety. This philosophy guides how I run my own business, and it's also part of what I teach to all of the students in my program. In Revenue Spark, we talk about mindset and mentality and imposter syndrome and balance and boundaries. All of those things are really important. They are just as important, I will argue, as setting up your LinkedIn profile properly. My goal in this program is to help take you from burned out, fed up, discouraged, to using freelancing as your path to freedom. So if this sounds like something you think you might be interested in, I'm going to leave the link below to my program where you can learn more about it. The full curriculum is on there. You can check out some testimonials. And if you think you want to chat more, just book a call and we can connect to see if we're a good fit for each other. I hope you found this video helpful. Drop me a comment and let me know what you think. And if you are the person who first told me about Wim Hof breathing, give me a shout so I can thank you for it. As always, all I ask of you is that you hit the like button and tell YouTube that you find my content helpful so it'll share it with more people. If you have any questions or feedback, just let me know below and I'll see you next time.